pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Get down over there, Edgar. Down over there.
Do roll call, Dan Van Buren,
Yeah.
Ben Hub,
Here.
Jeff Corpay.
Here.
Okay, we got a guest speaker,
Angela.
Angela. I'll let you go
We
ahead.
don't have none papers. Where are they at? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, give me one.
She's not on there though. Well, I'm here and representing Licking Township Fire Company. We actually do have a contract with you, so I'm actually coming. We're having a chili cook-off April 12th, and I'm just here to promote that. If you guys were willing to put up some flyers, and if Ben can take some down the national trails for me, that would be great. It's gonna be April 12th at noon to 4, and we'll have trophies. It's $10 for contestant fee and $5 to get in. And the proceeds go to, half the donations would go to the, we have a Licking Township Firefighters Association, and with that money, we usually flowers for funerals. We also have a college fund that we usually donate every year. So we're just trying to be proactive in the community and kind of bring it back to a community, because I don't think we've ever had an event like this before. I know about 3 years ago, we had a pancake breakfast at the Jacksontown United Methodist Church. So I'm trying to make this an annual event. I'm kind of putting it on, so I'm just here to see if you guys would be able to hand out flyers. We do have a Facebook event that we had put on. Also on the Beacon, there's been some information out to the Beacon and advertisements with T100. It's going to be held at the Jacksontown United Methodist Church in the Outreach Center at 12 to 4. And also, if you guys are wanting to come, bring your grandchildren or children, there's also the church will be having an Easter egg hunt earlier that morning, I believe at 10 o'clock. So
What was the day of that?
April 12th, it's a Saturday. And then the other half of the proceeds will go to the Jacksontown United Methodist Church Food Pantry, that they have an awesome community thing going on there. They have all the tons of donations. I know the Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts have donated there before. So that's one thing I'd like to talk about. The other thing is to the trustees. I think all of you, I know Don was around. We've adopted a road on Honda Hills, and this year we're going to opt out during the what is it called, PAC 33, just for this year, for the springtime. For the Earth Day, we're actually going to help Licking Township out this year, but we are wanting to come in the fall and do a pickup on our road that we've adopted, if that would be okay with you guys. Is that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any questions that you guys have?
Do you have flyers for these?
Yeah, I have flyers. These can be left here. And then if you could take these to your department,
Cool.
that would be great. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Actually, on there, there's a website, Licking Township, Licking TWP, Ohio.us, and you can get information, rules, and entry forms. So thank you so much for your time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Correspondence.
I got information about the salt contract. I was just talking to Ben a little bit about it. We need to make a decision by April 8th on whether we want to purchase the salt at the state bid price again this year.
I think we only got, what, 2 loads last year?
I don't know, I forgot.
There's a box still in there.
If you guys don't think we need it, I'll just let them know
Well, I
that.
say we choose, that's what we got in
Well,
there.
might you want to schedule for at least one load maybe for this year? 'Cause we don't have to take it till,
Do we have to take the store there? We don't take it.
Thanks for coming.
If you have copies of that, or can I see what it says? If you base the deadlines on delivery and that kind of stuff.
This is the only copy I brought with me.
I think we didn't take it till fall.
Last year.
Yeah. It was pretty late when we got salt, wasn't it, John?
It was late when you got it, but you better get at least 2 loads.
We need that much. What's the contract? Got that, we have to,
Well, we don't
We
have
have
to
to have it
load.
turned in by April 8th.
but when do we have to take delivery?
Well, it has to be delivered. You will not be required to purchase 100% of your requested tonnage out if the vendor fails to deliver it by December 8th. Summer fill-up contract will be issued for bid sometime around April 15th and is structured to be effective from the date of award to October 31st.
We want to get one load out. That's fine. What's the minimum on that?
I don't think there is a minimum. In the past, there hasn't been just a minimum tonnage is 200 or 22 tons, which is one truck.
Yeah.
That's the minimum.
Yeah, I'd say we at least ought to, at least one truck there.
So you want to do just one?
Do we have to lock into the quantity for that?
Yeah.
Is there a pricing schedule on it?
No.
I think they get a price after this.
Yeah, they see how many people are participating, and then they get a price.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead and get one load, we want to do 22 tons, probably.
Yeah.
Around there.
I'll second it.
Do a roll call. Dan,
Yeah.
Ben,
Yeah.
Jeff. And then I don't know, I think everybody received this email from Kurt from the engineer's office about Township Rural Safety Workshop. It's being held on April 16th from 8:30 to 1:30. We need to RSVP by April 1st if you want to go. Did you get that? Huh? Did you want to go? That's what they're talking about. What's the agenda? That was all I had. So,
Have a couple things that will fall under zoning appeal and zoning board commission. One of the things I had is, for the Easter egg hunt this year, I stopped up at Kroger's in Hebron and asked them if they'd be able to help us out with the Easter egg hunt, if they'd be able to donate anything to us. Fill out a little paperwork they had, and they were able to donate $20 to us, so $20 would probably go toward buying candy to help fill the eggs. So, that was that. That's all I have. The organizational meeting was held with the Lincoln County National Road sale. Anybody that's interested that wants to attend the next meeting, the next one's April 17th at 10 a.m. at the Hooper Building. We always invite anybody to come to that, but it's be the 9th year this year. Under court view, I checked that. One thing's been updated since March 6th. Bowling Green Township versus CMI. The update on that is Judge Brandstool in the East Courtroom at 1:30 on April 11th, 2014. Only other legal update that I have is I did speak with Amy regarding the concern with the Bowling Green Township Park Committee records. The fiscal officer has all that. I did want to ask you if you got the copies of Bart and the women on that. Did you get that taken care of? She wanted a copy of the calendar and also receipts that she never got copies of from the last period.
Should the receipts be part of our records?
The one she turns into you, I understand you made copies in the past. And
Yes, but
gave them.
shouldn't we get the originals also? Is there any reason?
Didn't she
we're
give
gonna
those
keep
to?
them?
Didn't she give you the originals?
She gives me the originals to make a copy, and then I give her the originals back, which means she has all the originals.
I don't know. I know she doesn't have the most recent. What she requested is a copy of the most recent ones that
But
we
why does she
normally
need
give
them
back.
now? Shouldn't the township have the originals?
Well, it's a records request technically. I think she wants to make sure that she has the documentation showing that she has proof that she provided. There were a lot of accusations made. It is a record request that we need to fill. As far as record requests go, I had asked for some copies of tapes and how those yet.
I don't need this with me tonight.
When will I have those?
I'll get them to you. I'll bring them.
And Clinton County Planning Commission, they sent their agenda, there was nothing on the, a couple of days ago, they had a meeting, there was nothing on the agenda for Bowling Green. This is a copy. In fact, I think it was January, Gary Stepp had asked me to give you this record request.
And I'm working on that, and I will contact him when it's finished.
I looked over what it was, and it looked pretty simple. What's the holdup on it?
I'll contact him when I'm finished.
Well, I want copies of the same things he's asking for. I think these are good things to know. And the only other thing I had, I wanted to request that the board put on the agenda for next month to discuss the Bowling Green Township Community Building Reservation application. I think it's been several years. Looks like it was updated since 2010. Some different changes and things. I'd like to request to put that on the agenda. That's it for me in correspondence.
Well, since we're doing requests, hey Jeff, I would like a copy of that, the tape of our conversation on the phone, because that there don't work.
Yeah, it does,
Yeah,
yeah.
it don't.
It does.
I copied that, and there's been several people try to get on there, I can't get it.
You have to type in exactly.
I did.
It's there, Dan.
No, it ain't.
It is.
He's asking for
I
requests.
want a copy of it.
It's right there.
It is not.
I'm not gonna argue with you, I know it is. So, if you wanted it, you got it.
He's
No.
making a record request to you, Jeff.
Yeah.
How can you deny that?
You've already provided it.
This is a record request, this right here?
Would you like me to take it from the private mode to the public mode, and then everybody can
I don't care.
get on there and hear your
It'll make no
whatever?
difference to me. But
All you got to do, Dan, is type it in the browser. You need an internet connection, type it in just like that. That's why I wrote it out, because it's long and it doesn't make sense. It's a URL.
I did, it didn't work.
You got to do it exactly.
I did.
So you're saying that's a public record right there? Anybody with a computer can get on that site?
Yeah, anybody that types that in can get into that and watch it. It's an unlisted,
Okay.
It don't work.
Anybody in the room have a smartphone?
I'm looking it up now.
Please do, because I looked it up, and it doesn't work.
you have to type it in.
It's right here.
Well, it's just not me not finding it.
But I don't think that's sufficient enough for a public record
Nope.
request for somebody. Absolutely not.
Take as you will.
Okay. Okay, safety, I think everything's all right. Trucks and stuff, aren't they good?
Built a lot of potholes. We're doing all right on that.
Fire company,
Is it warm in here?
Yes.
Or is it just because I'm
I
sitting
can't
by the
hear a
furnace?
thing anybody's saying.
Want to turn it down just a little bit?
We can't hear you, anything.
Just
Kick it all the way to the
talk.
left. All the way that way.
We can't hear over that thing. It's very hard.
No, it ain't no good. Zoning,
Trying to strain my ears.
Sorry,
zoning.
zoning, yes. I gave you copies, they're up front. 4 permits were done.
There's just a copy.
Have one.
One for Mark Thurmer, he had an add-on on the porch on Rankin Road. One for Timothy Munning, new construction on Mount Perry. One for Skinner, which is an add-on and shed on Main Street in Brownsville. And Tim Longshore, and it's a rebuild due to a fire, which is on Shelley Road. I also completed the timeline that was requested from the prosecuting attorney for address 16246 Laurel Hill, and it was submitted to her. I'm waiting on further action from her. I'm also working on the timeline for 14282 National Road, and she would like to have that within 2 weeks so that we're not bombarded on too many court hearings at one time. If you notice, I sent a violation out, and I get it your regular mail. Could not find a number, any point of contact for for Mark Thurmer. He contacted me immediately and we resolved the violation.
Okay.
What was the violation? Is it?
You have a copy of the violation right there, I gave it to you.
Planning Commission, comprehensive plan that hasn't done anything, has it? It's,
Well, we're actually going to be having a meeting before long. I'm not sure when yet, but I will contact Jimmy, so it's advertised.
So, and then a couple things, there's a couple things under zoning board.
Yeah.
Under the zoning board, I had a letter here that was handed to me, it says, that, I'll read it, it says, Ron Duvall would like to fill the vacant seat in the zoning board. Gary Stepp's term has expired. That was given to me today.
I still wanna be on.
More than one person interested.
I move to extend Gary Stepp's, from whatever time it was expired to the 5-year expiration in the schedule that we had. I move to extend the extension on Gary Stepp to fill the next term.
we have a paper on that.
Is that door open? That's what's making it come in.
I don't have my rest stuff in here.
When did it officially expire, or does it expire?
I'm not sure. I didn't bring my list with me.
Jimmy, I have it.
We've had that happen in the past where they have actually expired, and we were told by the legal counsel that until they're taken off or they quit, then they're technically still there, it just needs renewed.
Right
Whether
now,
it's expired at this point or not, it doesn't really even matter.
right now Gary Stepp's, it says expired 2012,
You probably, is that the most current list?
February 28, 2012.
Yes, that's the most.
Wow.
Well, if that's the most current list, you probably have a few more on there that have expired,
Yeah, I'm not, yeah.
but I doubt that's the most current, it doesn't make sense. Does that have an updated date on it that you did it last, so you don't know when that was done?
No, but that's
That's
Gary
a
Stepp, Tom Robb, Shannon Duvall, Yetta Peltz, Dee Cryer, and Mark Caldwell. That was the zoning commission, so,
Probably wanna check your official list wherever that is.
yeah, that's fine.
Well, maybe we better get the official list, and do it next month,
Yeah,
Table that for next month.
table to next month.
I'll put it on the agenda.
Under the zoning appeals, it says trustees, 2 seats on the zoning appeals board have expired, Jeff Baird and Mike Zinsmeister. Neither have expressed an interest in remaining on the board. Ed Monroe and Thomas Clayton would like to fill these seats, with Jack Hedges, alternate, moving to a full member, Ed becoming a full member, and Thomas as an alternate.
I would say to treat that the same way as the other one.
I can assure you that that is an accurate list because we just had a meeting last year.
This does seem more, I mean, this seems accurate to me too. Patty Bolin is chair, Dave Skinner vice chair, Mike Zinsmeister's clerk, Lee Rathburn, and then Jeff Baird, and then Jack was the alternate. And,
And we do need to have a meeting, so we're a viable board, so I do need to have these members replaced.
So there are a total with both boards, including alternates, how many open positions? Because there's 5 plus 2 alternates on both boards, there's a total of 14 people. How many do we have that don't have an expiration? Okay. Like I say, we need to
You guys
treat
gonna have
that
a
the
meeting
same
before
as
next month?
the zoning appeals
All right.
and zoning, the same.
When do the ones for the board of appeals expire?
Jeff Baird's expired February 26, 2013. Zinsmeister expired February 26, 2014.
You haven't talked with anybody, I assume, to see if they still want
I
on.
haven't,
I think it'd be the right thing to do to talk to those other individuals. Gary's here tonight. Sounds like he's expressed his interest to continue. For the other 2, we need to know that answer too.
You have current people who are here that want to fill positions that are open, and it's a good idea, in my opinion, to have new members on the board instead of keeping the same people on all the time.
You speaking on behalf of your board or?
I am speaking on as chair of my board, yes.
Is that you as an individual or is your board, did your board meet and have a consensus over that?
No, we have not met.
Okay. So it's your opinion,
That is
it's
not.
your personal opinion.
Do you have a question in reference to these boards?
Yeah, go ahead.
If you're on a board, zoning, board of commissions, or even the appeals board, maybe you guys can talk to the prosecuting attorney, or I can, on anybody that's in violations of anything within the zoning, shouldn't be on boards. If you're in violation, you're not honoring the boards.
That's right. Mr. Corcoran should know better.
Mr. President, do we have an open forum now or is this a board discussion? Mr. President, no, you're not the president.
Just worry
Mr.
about it.
Rivera,
Just worry
I
about it.
was-
is this open discussion now?
I was waiting on a response, please. Mr. Corpenning, can you let him answer me? Thank you.
This, we'll table this for the next meeting when we got a record of all the people in here.
Should I get with the prosecuting
Yeah,
attorney?
yeah, talk to the prosecutor,
Okay,
see what he says.
Why would we send the zoning inspector to do that when one of us?
because it deals with zoning.
She can talk to him.
I'd be happy to do it and save us the hours
I'll
of
be happy
time.
to do it as well, so we don't get wrong answers.
We pay the zoning inspector hourly, we're paid salary, I'd be happy to do it.
Dan, I can assure you, because Jenny will tell you, I had requested an official copy from her last month. She gave me a copy. The people on my board, those terms have expired. My board is current,
Okay.
I do know that those 2 seats have expired. I have people to fill those seats. We need to have a meeting so that we're a legal viable board. We need to do that probably within the next 30 days before you meet again.
The fire.
They have a viable board, we've gone into this before.
When was your
The
guys'
members
last
that-
meeting?
The members that have expired are still viable. You can call a meeting if you need to, and you have 5 members that you can call on. And all you need is a quorum, which would be 3 of them. You just have to follow the appropriate advertising rules that Jenny could assist you with. So the fact that we have members that have expiration dates does not keep you from holding a meeting if you feel you need to have one.
I mean, I think it's fair that we talk to them, see if they're still interested. See if you can push your meeting till right after the next meeting. And, I'd like to speak with these 2 people.
Are you gonna be the one to do that, Mr. President? To contact them, somebody needs assigned to do that task?
I just said I would like to speak with these 2 people, so I
Aaron,
would.
you just said he'd do it.
Well, it's more than 2 people, we have also alternates. That's why I'm asking, how many total positions are there? In the past, when we had multiple ones, we actually did put the call out for anybody that was interested, if the existing members didn't
I'll
want to
check
continue.
the list and I'll let Ben know who's expired and.
Well, I'd like to let the board know, not just Ben.
Okay.
Is she on the board?
Sometimes.
I see that. But no.
Okay. What's true? Don't answer.
If we're gonna advertise that we have openings, I think that we should do it prior to the next meeting, to give the public the opportunity to know that these positions may be available. That's if all the existing people don't wanna continue. And then if you can check how many alternate, at one point, I know there was still an opening for an alternate, I'm not sure it was ever filled. But if you can check that too, it's always a good idea to get all the alternate spaces filled too. What was that, Ben? Sorry, I didn't hear you, Ben.
I have nothing to say to you, Jeff.
Okay, unfinished business?
Excuse me, just about this property. Why would somebody wanna go rob a bank and have the bank robber watch the bank and have somebody on the board of zoning breaking the law and still have them on the board? I mean, it don't make sense. You're asking 2 rabbits running around together forever.
The problem with what you're saying, Mr. Duval, is you are making assumptions
No, I'm not.
of somebody's allegations being true. These issues, from what I'm getting on the report from the zoning inspector, she's working on timelines on them. People are not guilty of anything when it's an allegation. And that could also hold true for our board members.
I got eyes. I try to buy their stuff. I just think, so I'm not blind.
I think anything said allegations, they're charged for violations. It's not an allegation, it's a violation. And you're fully aware of that, Mr. Corpenny.
Big difference.
No, you don't speak for me.
You are fully aware of the violations. You've had them
They're
multiple times.
they're
They're
allegations.
not
Let's
allegations.
move on.
They are
Is
violations,
this public comment?
not allegations.
Mr. President, could you maintain order, please?
Move on to unfinished business.
He's pulling ignorance right
The
now.
trash.
It still stands, so just wait until April 11th.
It's not an allegation.
Maybe it's April 11th, 12th.
When do we have to,
That's when it goes to court.
oh, I'm talking about,
I put that underneath.
New business.
oh, okay, all right. Okay.
What are you talking about something different?
It's under new business,
What's that?
the trash contract. Okay, now we move on to new business. the trash contract.
It expires in August, so if we want to put that out for bid again, then we need to do that. If you don't want to, that's fine, but we need to discuss it.
I'd like to hold I think we should hold a public hearing to see if people are still interested in doing it.
Okay.
I think that's pretty smart to do that, to get a consensus of the people whether they do want to continue doing it, don't want to do it.
Just wanna have a special meeting to have
I
a
think we should do
meeting
that.
for the trash contract.
You know, let people come voice their opinion, whether they like it, don't like it, think we should do it, shouldn't do it, happy with it, not happy with it, you know, whatever.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Just say it expires in August.
Yes,
What's the date on August, like 15th or something?
I'm not sure. I think it's August 11th, but I don't know for sure.
So it expires in August, we'd have to bid it by probably June.
At
Right,
the latest.
or July, to award in August, open and award in July.
My suggestion would
And
be to
I'll
bring a
ask
copy of
them to do
the
it
existing contract and the potential
earlier.
new contract, and make a copy for each trustee and have it at the next meeting.
What do you think about setting up something like that, people come in?
Yeah, I'd
discuss
say
it?
we just set up a date and just advertise it. And people come in and put their input out, what they want it or don't want it.
Sooner than later.
Yeah.
Really cool. We'll do it next month in April?
I think we could set a date next month after we have a chance to review it as a board.
It can't hurt to get public's
Yeah,
opinion.
what do we need?
Hey, all
Review,
we're getting,
we want the
public
public's-
opinion
Yeah.
is all we're after.
That'd be good, but it'd be nice to have the details in front of us prior to doing that, and then we can even make it available to the public. They can see the potential contract that would be possibly used again.
Sure, I could do that too, I mean, that's not hard to make.
No.
Yeah.
Sorry.
April, if we wait till May, or June, July, August. I'd rather do it sooner than later.
Yeah.
We can bid it sooner, put it out to bid.
Yeah, I don't wanna wait until, I don't wanna award it in July. I would rather award it in June.
June,
We
could
can
be
set
safe.
that-
Would it be better to have the meeting date on a weekend or something? Like on a Saturday or something? Do you think people would be more apt to come to it on the weekend?
I would suggest that we hold it on the last Tuesday of the month and either hold it before or after this normal meeting.
You're gonna have more people coming on a weekend than you are during the week.
Don't know, we've never done it.
What do people in here think? I mean,
I think you ought to have it in a big building down here, because you may have more than will fit in this.
well, most definitely,
Yeah.
but what, I mean, do
Saturday,
people think a weeknight or a weekend night?
Saturday.
Saturday weekend.
Or an evening or something like that?
Saturday evening.
There's a lot of people that work late.
Yeah. Well, if we pick Saturday in April, we have the 5th, the 12th, the 19th, and the 26th.
19th is Easter egg hunt.
Okay.
5th and the 12th, if I recall, you'll have to talk to Mrs. Watkins, but I think they're both booked.
Let's check with them the last Saturday.
It's the 26th.
Check with them, see what.
Then we can discuss it at the meeting,
Yeah.
because there'll be a meeting after that.
Why don't we set the meeting next month?
I know the 26th open
I
because
mean,
it's a
at the
rain
next,
date.
at the
for
next
Easter
month's
egg hunt.
meeting, why don't we set the date?
It's a rain date for it.
Okay, but that's in the morning, so it'll
Right.
be open. Even if we did it on the, 19th day, let's do it on the 26th.
Let's just check with Dawn, see if they're.
Well, they said that it's reserved for a rain date for the Easter egg hunt.
Oh, okay.
So, you just say rain for the 19th, it's gonna
Yeah.
be in the morning anyways, so.
Okay, well, they won't hurt nothing in the evening anyway.
What's that?
Probably, what, 7 o'clock or so?
That's fine.
Is that official?
I'm gonna request a motion and a second, and if you would, please read it.
Somebody wanna make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we have it for last Saturday at 7 o'clock.
What are we having?
Discussion about the,
Public hearing?
This is April 10th, right?
yeah,
Is there a second?
Just for public discussion on the traffic. Right? I'll
To
second.
have a meeting.
I'll second.
Roll call, Dan,
yeah.
Jeff,
Yes.
Ben,
Yeah.
Check with Dawn, make sure everything's okay.
He's back there.
He's here.
Or,
I can get the calendar.
yeah,
If it's not, just let us know.
What is the day of the last Saturday?
26th.
at 7 PM.
That's fine, you don't have to get it right now.
We'll have to put it on the sign. I'll put it on the website. Also, under new business, I need a motion to accept permanent appropriations for 2014, and I gave everybody a copy of our appropriations for the year.
I make a motion to set the partial appropriation.
So this is for the rest of the year?
Yeah. Is there a second for the motion?
A second.
Roll call, Dan,
Yeah,
Jeff,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes. I had Jenny check, see what we owe on that truck, and that dump truck, it's around 15,000, right? Or 16,000. We think we just go ahead and pay that off, get it off the books, the money's already appropriated for the year.
it would actually save us some in interest.
So it's already appropriated, we've already appropriated for the year, so we have the money in the account, we carried money over from last year. We're gonna pay it off, we're not paying interest on it.
Just over 16,000.
how much will we have to work on the road?
Well, we're still gonna have the same, that's not gonna affect it, because that money's already appropriated for that.
We'll
So
still
that
have
won't
probably, what,
affect the amount.
instead of 70,000 for roads.
Mm, looks like it's gonna be more like 60,000. Well, there's contracted services out of the, gasoline fund, the 52,000. And then the contracted services in, motor vehicle, which actually is only 2,000. But then I have audited services, which I'm not sure why I did that, because we don't have an audit this year. So I could transfer that back to contracted services. That's 8,000. I just noticed that, I don't know why I put money in audited audit services, because we don't have an audit this year.
Well, that would give us our office.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is what we're projected to spend, yes, so that's what we have.
That's the unencumbered balance, yes. Final appropriation is what you're looking at. That's the appropriated amount for that, which right now is the same, because we haven't spent any money for that contracted services.
Right.
Well, the only fund that we can't touch contracted services in is the fire fund.
Right. They won't want.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell them you said so. Which I have their checks tonight too, which aren't on the back of the sheet, so those are the only checks that aren't on the sheet. Fire company checks.
What are the numbers in those? Any amount?
Are you interested in paying ahead on it? What do you think?
I don't care, we can pay that.
I'd like to get paid off.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
This is the final for the year here, Juan.
The final? No, that's the
But
first,
we can move money around to other towns.
that's the first payment of the year.
Is that
Yes, well, we can move within the, I can move anything in the general fund. I can't move something from the general to the motor vehicle. But like that audited services, I don't know why I did that, so I can just transfer that back to contracted services.
Is there, you have that?
Motor vehicle,
And so is this, like, you're looking at? What page?
two. Audited services.
8,000. That could be like almost a year for repair or something, right?
And what?
Truck.
Yeah,
So that's gonna go back into,
that'll go back in contracted services, which we can spend on roads,
right, old truck.
or, yeah, whatever.
You wanna pay half of it all? Pay the whole thing all, or you got?
You can pay the whole thing if you want. I mean, like you said, it's the money's appropriated
For the year.
anyway, yeah, for the year, but I mean, it's there and we can use it.
If it's eight, how much is a month, 8 something a month?
877.
If you're looking over 10,000 for the year. So we got a year, almost 2 years pay, year and a half.
Yeah. Maturity date is October 4th, 2015.
So year and a half, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And currently we owe $16,052.21. That was after the February payment was made. No, that was after the March payment was made.
How much will that save in others? Or it'll tell you how much that payoff is, wouldn't it?
Yeah, if I call, yeah, they tell me. But the interest on this was, for the payment was $62.20.
It's getting less every time.
Yeah, each payment you make, it's getting less. The interest is 4.5.
We carried some money over from last year, yes.
Yeah, about 30.
I'll make a motion, we go ahead and pay, and then get the red dump truck off.
And I'll second it.
Could you put the numbers in that motion?
So I'll call the exact payoff on it.
What's the approximate?
16,000. Do roll call?
You don't, before you go to roll call, you don't feel like that's gonna interfere with any, projects we might, we're talking on funds for any other projects we might need?
No. It's not gonna interfere.
Okay, so I would know.
Dan,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Yes.
Ben,
Yes. We're debt free.
When is that, when are you gonna cut that
well,
check?
not today.
Be it next month?
Yeah, I'll just have it at the next meeting. We'll sign it then.
Give somebody something to write about in this newspaper, we'll pay a dump truck off a year and a half later.
You won't write it
Okay.
down.
I don't have anything else under.
Yeah, any on their new business?
No, I just wanna make sure that we get on the agenda to talk about the community building rules.
Good public comment. I have one. The answer is his question, or,
Right, well, and Jeff, you're more welcome to try to type it in, but I've done it every which one there's son. That link does not work. Does not provide video. It says not found. So, you can game with Dan then, or what? You want me to type it in front of the video camera, so you can document it? I don't handle that. That's a pretty simple records request when you plan on phone.
I've already discussed this matter, can't.
Well, it doesn't
more
work.
out to it.
I mean,
Just for you, Shannon, I'll go home tonight, I'll go from unlisted to public, and then you can hear how's
let's just see, it isn't open to the public. I think this gentleman right here
It
asked
is.
you if
It
it
is.
was open to the public.
It is, all you have to do, it's called unlisted. All you
Said
have to do is type
anybody in
this-
this room can access, and you said, yes, sir.
Yes, you can access it right here, you've already got a copy, and you've been spreading it
Yep.
around.
I've already
You gotta
typed
type
it
it
in this
in.
right here.
You gotta type it in,
Yep.
upper lowercase, exactly like
Yep,
this.
I did.
Like I told you, I'll be
Exactly
happy
like
to
you did.
switch it from unlisted to public.
Yep, so
And
see,
you
it's
can hear
not
the-
public.
No, it's a setting that's on YouTube.
Yeah, I know.
Unlisted is open to anyone that types this in. Public means that it's advertised, and then you can hear Dan's conversation. It'll be on my channel, and anyone can go and listen to the conversation that Dan wants a copy of, okay? It's really pretty simple, it's not complicated.
You acknowledge me?
Go
Yes?
ahead, Martha.
Okay, I have a question. Earlier during this meeting, Mr. Corpenning indicated to Jenny that a records request was made from Barb Wiseman on copies of receipts. And he made the statement, she will fill it. Now, Dan has asked repeatedly for a public records copy. And Mr. Corpenning refuses to fill it. The copy needs to be brought forward and handed to you in your hand. That's a public records copy request. You ask for it, you should have it in your hand. Correct or not?
Evidently, we can call and tell them, and that's fine, I guess.
So what he's telling her and what you are requesting and he's replying back to you, he has double standards. Okay? He's gonna tell her she will fill it, but he will not fill the request you've asked for.
I've
Am
absolutely.
I correct on this?
He has not
Dan?
filled
right.
my records
You
request
you are not
either.
correct, but you're
I'm
certainly
talking
welcome to your
to
opinion.
Dan, the president, not Jeff Corpenning.
It is correct.
Okay, thank you. I want to make sure that is correct. I also have one more thing I'd like to bring up before you take me down. I have a letter here to the trustees of Bowling Green Township and residents. March 22nd, the Friends of Bowling Green Township hosted a community cook-off. The event came off great. Residents participated. We had 9 chili participants. In front of each chili can, we had a monetary donation can. Whoever had the fullest can won the chili cook-off. It was quick and easy. It was fun for the community. We had a 50-50 also. We collected $72 for that 50-50, so the split was $36. Our total intake was $49 and our total intake was $85. Okay, this money is gonna be used for a community spaghetti dinner. And we're hoping to have that in May. The Easter egg hunt is still on for April the 19th. Registration starts at 11. We will have games. The Easter Bunny will be participating in games and activities, and we're gonna have a great community gathering.
Hey, Barb,
And the seniors will do a bake sale.
seniors gonna do a bake
Yes.
sale, not 9 o'clock.
9, yeah, they're starting at 9.
They'll start early.
Mr. President, I've got some questions on that regard. I think these are questions that should be asked. First of all, I don't know are you the spokesperson for the group? Are you the president, or what is the?
That's irrelevant,
Who's he talking
Well,
to?
I'd like to know who the spokesperson is, whether they have.
I just gave you a public comment, that was it. We're a group.
Okay. And I think it's important to ask whether you have a 501c3, and if you cover insurance for these events that you're calling public.
Nope,
What did you have with Barb?
don't need to. Do you have insurance too?
That's why
For any of your public events?
I don't hold public events.
You know
If you're
you are.
referring to the Patton Park Committee efforts, they were quite clearly a subdivision of the Board of Trustees. They were a governmental committee. And yes, we do have insurance as
We're
a
the community
township.
of Bowling Green Township.
So if the answer is no, you don't have insurance, and your entity's not a nonprofit.
You didn't say we were a profit or nonprofit.
That's what a 501c3 is, I believe.
We're just volunteers, trying to get the community together and have fun.
Why do you got something against that, Jeff Corbin?
He's not
Why?
in charge
I
of
don't think anyone said they had anything against it.
Well, you was complaining about it.
You know, I asked my questions. I've got nothing further to ask.
Any more public
Yes,
comments?
yes, right here. Did you all three look at the past pictures and the latest pictures of our property? Did you guys look at them? Should you look at them?
I've never got it.
Okay.
Look at it.
The oldest one that the newest one is being compared to, I think there was 6 of the oldest one, and then there was numerous of the new one. They were taken at 2 different seasons of the year. The oldest ones were taken more of a, kind of like the same area, and the newest ones were taken clear over here and down the driveway and all over here, which they cannot even compare. Okay, and I was told that it looks worse in the new ones than it did the old ones, but they're 2 different seasons. The trees are bare in the new ones, the trees are in full bloom in the old ones, and some of the stuff was still there, and I know it was there, but you couldn't see that it was there, and it didn't go as far. Okay, now, my other question is, when we tried to start conforming to these requests, we had one of the worst winters possible. Bob has been working and working and working. Now, are we going to go to court on the pictures taken 3 or 4 months ago, or are we going to go to court on what it looks like now? And then the last question I have is a person only in violation if somebody complains, or are you in violation if you're really in violation, just in violation? Or are you only in violation if your neighbor complains? That's it.
I don't,
That's it.
Zoning, what the zoning says.
You guys have not even looked at the pictures then?
I've already answered that, yes, I have.
Both sets.
I saw the pictures that were sent to me for some reason, registered mail, that were on that disc. I understand they were sent to you, or you had them too.
New ones and old ones?
That disc, I think, had old ones. If there were new ones
Okay, there
on
was only
there.
about 6 old ones.
I didn't see any
But
timestamps
all
on
the
any of
tree
them.
leaves were out, you could not see the same things. So you
I don't know.
cannot honestly say it's worse than the first pictures because you can't see it and it's not as big a territory. Now, if you could come over and look at the place, you would see that when the weather got where you could actually do anything besides deep snow or mud, you would see that if you're taking us to court on the pictures, it doesn't even look like that. And the pictures were taken in the part of the year that you couldn't do anything to change it. It was impossible. December. There was a few good, nice days in December, and as soon as the snow melted, then the pictures were taken. But there was no time, like between December and now, he's worked and worked. So is it going to be what it looks like now, or is it going to be what it looked like back in December?
Here's an easy explanation. There was 3 years between the pictures, right?
3 years? I don't know.
Okay, how many years were between the pictures? That's how long you had to remedy the problem.
No one has ever written down on a list exactly what is in violation, except this is what we're told. You can't have this sign, you can't have this culvert pipe, and you can't have your tractors, and you can't have this car, which is licensed, and you can't have this, and you can't have that, and you can't have this, and you can't have that, and then you cannot have a junkyard and a salvage business. But wouldn't you have to have junk cars and selling junk cars to have a junkyard and salvage business? I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, we've got some recycled metal, but we're not running a junkyard. I don't understand why I don't have anything in writing saying exactly what the violation is. That's pretty broad. It's very, very broad. You cannot operate a junkyard and a salvage yard, but it's very broad.
3
What,
minutes is up.
what things is it exactly?
It's been explained over and over.
Has it?
It has.
Okay, well.
Yeah, I recently had plans on building a building up there and a little lean-to, but I didn't know, what was involved or who was involved, or what first step to take. So I called Barb, the zoning lady. She come out and showed me and answered all my questions I had, and she did a very professional job, and I want to thank her personally for coming out and showing me everything and getting me going right there. Thank you, Barb.
Maybe we'll get that to happen too.
Okay, any other public comments?
Yes, I do. I don't have a comment. I got it's happening, okay? Now, I'm going to quit my towing business this year, and I'm going to build, I'm not thinking about it, I'm going to build a 60 by 60 building out by my creek, down my driveway, away from my house. And I'm going to sell pigs. I'm going to raise pigs. Now, what I want to get this building, do I want to get the permit to build the building? Or do I want, who said that?
You don't need one. You don't need a permit.
Okay, I didn't ask you anyhow. But if I get a permit to build this building,
I think you're a smart ass.
can I?
Wait a minute.
Please.
Please, 3 minutes, he's got 3 minutes without anybody else
No, I
talking.
think
Okay.
But I want to know whether I need to, if I get a permit to build the building, then if I decide 2 or 3 years down the road, I don't want to raise pigs no more, I can use this building for whatever I want.
You'd have to take those questions to the zoning inspector. I think you'd have to do a change of use on the building. That's what you'd have to do, is that correct?
That's on the record now. That's
Yeah.
what, you can do this.
But you'd have to do a change of use of the building.
Okay, then how do you go about doing that?
I don't know all the specifics to that.
Then somebody will find this out.
You'd have to talk to the zoning inspector.
No, I'm talking to you. I'm paying you. I'm paying you.
And we're paying the
I
zoning
take money
inspector.
out of my wallet and give it to you. It's you guys' job, not the zoning inspector.
Well, I'm gonna refer you to our zoning inspector.
I don't wanna hear it.
Initially, Bob, if you're building an agricultural building,
Yes.
you don't need a permit to
Okay.
build that pig barn.
But I want to know, I want to get the permit, I don't care, but it's chump change. But I want to get the permit, so if I want to use the building for something else, then it's already done, my opinion.
When
It
you
has to
fill
be
out,
for
when
what
you
it
fill out
is.
your permit, you're gonna have to put on there what it's for. And
Okay,
if it's
then
for
I can-
ag, then you wouldn't be paying, you wouldn't
It
paying.
still probably end up having to be ag, whatever you used it for, Bob.
But I can use the building for whatever I want.
For ag,
Ag, okay.
agriculture.
He could put his tractors in it and the
Or
pigs.
I can put a bale of hay in.
Yep, you can put tractors and hay and agriculture stuff.
Okay, and that's it. Okay, can't have nothing else in that building.
Put your pigs.
Remember what you say now, remember what you say 2 or 3 years down the road. Can't put nothing but agriculture in that building.
Put chicken in their leg.
But that's not what I'm asking, I'm serious. I'm not playing games. Nothing but agriculture.
What are you getting at? What are you beating around the bush about? What do you want to do in 3 or 4 years with it? What are your plans?
I have no idea.
If he decided later on. he
If you
didn't
want an
raise
honest
pigs.
answer, I'm asking for an honest answer.
I
from
don't
you.
know what I would put in it. I just don't know.
Well, you have to conform to zoning rules, so if you take out a permit to build an agricultural building, so be it.
Okay, do you need a permit or not for agriculture?
Call your zoning
Right.
inspector.
There's no charge for it.
Okay.
Okay.
You get a permit, but no charge.
Now, I'll go to the planning commission on that. And okay, I've got another, this is not. Shut up, whoever said that.
No, you didn't say
I can say what
That's enough.
I'm tired of your nonsense, Jack. Keep your
That's
mouth
enough.
shut.
Shut up. That's enough.
Why can't you just let a person ask their
Well, he's
question?
spoken for about 10 minutes.
Well,
I
other
don't care what you said.
people were talking.
Good grief! Yeah, there's an organization amongst the township that calls themselves
DK.
Friends of Brownsville, Bowling Green Township.
Okay.
Okay, right? Okay, now, on the road that I live on, it's not my road, but I live there, someone has been dumping tires, gobs of tires, trash, all up and down Laurel Hill Road, where the water is.
Okay.
I would like the friends of Bowling Green Township to get that taken care of. It looks
Well,
terrible.
for one, you'd have to
Call
take
the
out,
sheriff.
take out to the county, that's a county
Oh,
road,
my
Okay.
lord.
okay?
Okay?
It would take time
But
for calling us.
You call the county. County, okay, it's not Bowling Green Township. You call the county.
It's a county road, they're gonna maintain it.
The road don't need maintaining.
It's bags of trash.
Somebody's throwing their trash out and throwing tires all over the place.
Is it in the right of way, the road right
No.
of way? It's not, it's on private
In
property?
the ditch.
They call the property owner.
So call Mr. Story. Tell him to clean
It's
it
on
up.
private property, call the health department. You know, if that's what you need to
Township has
do.
nothing to do with it.
We don't have anything, it's not our road.
It's in-
County road.
It's a
County
county
road.
Okay, that's fine. No problem.
Anybody else?
Dan, this zoning issue with the Truck board just keeps coming up and coming up. Years ago, the same thing happened where people all of a sudden didn't have a term anymore. I asked back then, who is responsible to keep the records up and responsible to bring it to the Board of Trustees that says, hey, the term's expired, and then advertise, you know, get people in the community to know that, you know, somebody's available to be going on these seats. Over and over, same thing happened again now, where somebody's expired for a year or two. How the hell does that keep happening? I mean, who is actually responsible to do this? Every other township I see, Licking Township, they advertise continuously in the Beacon about open positions. Why is it that we constantly have the same problem where people are expired for maybe a year or two,
One
and
reason
nobody
is-
notices it? Is it responsible for the Board of Trustees, the fiscal officer, or is it the board president? Who is it?
Some of those boards only have a meeting once a year, they're required to have a yearly meeting.
But
right?
who is it? Who is it? Who's responsible?
So if they're only meeting once a year, and then they're gonna get out their information, like, well, you know, it's been a year, so this person's expired.
Well, who keeps the record of expiration?
Fiscal officer.
Okay,
So what are you asking?
well, if they only meet once a year, you're saying they're not responsible because they only meet once a year. So that, you say that means somebody else has to take the responsibility, who has the
I
record.
didn't say they were or weren't.
So you're saying nobody, who's responsible then? Who is, that's what I'm asking, just not this, well, they only meet once a year, so we don't know. Who is it?
The fiscal officer maintains the records, Will. In the past, at the organizational meetings, is generally when I've brought it up. The last organizational meeting, the dates,
You
the
did not
times were
attend.
changed, I was given conflicting information.
Yeah, yeah, he wasn't there this year, so.
So, but
he-
that's normally when I
I'm just trying
suggest
to
the board
prevent
look at it.
something that, it's like the absolute, you know, definition of insanity. You keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. We're doing the same thing over and over again and you expecting
We'll,
different
we'll work
results.
through it,
How do
Will.
you-
We'll work through it, don't you worry, we'll get it taken care of, we'll get the spots filled.
Okay.
So there's no real answer though, right?
Okay, go ahead, Matt.
I would like to know the status of my records request from Torpenny for the videos that you have filmed. You are the only person that has copies of those, and I gave you a written records
I
request.
see it's still sitting here, that was addressed last month, gave it to the fiscal officer. If she feels like she wants to create those records and help you out, she can do so. She would have to get them like anyone else, take them off and, where they're published on YouTube, however that's done.
Absolutely.
You are,
They corrected
you
the-
are the person recording the video, you're the person making the video of an official meeting. You have access, and the only person with access to those records.
That's not
I
true.
requested from you a copy of every one of those videos, including the park commission. It has now been 30 days and I have had no response from you.
Yes, you had immediate response at the last meeting. Your note there was handed to the fiscal officer, she handles all the public
You're
record
the one that
requests.
has the
If she
records.
feels that she wants to create a public record for you and make a copy of what's published on YouTube for anybody to see, she's free to do so.
Those are changed.
It's a violation of YouTube policy, do you know that?
Yes. Plus,
And I
People-
can't make
You might wanna
copies of
check with
records
the
I don't have
ACLU,
possession
Jeff.
of.
Thank you.
No, maybe you should check with the
Thank you.
ACLU.
I already have.
Thank
Then
you.
you go right ahead.
Say
You do
that
what you
again,
need to
Jenny, I
do.
didn't hear that.
Records requests go to the fiscal officer. If the fiscal officer does not have that record, she can't fill it. And if she has
So she
issues
needs
with
to-
And
that,
that's why it was
then
given
she-
You
to
are
you.
making
You
the
have.
The
video
Board of
as a
Trustees-
trustee.
The board,
You're making
no,
the
ma'am, I'm
video
not.
as a trustee.
Yes, you are.
Yes, you
The
are.
board of
Yes,
trustees.
you are.
Dan,
Yes.
You are making a record when you record it.
Yes.
I'm
And
calling
you're
on you,
sitting at that
Dan,
You
to
table.
take order
made
of
your
this
record,
meeting.
we'll take care of it.
members of the public wishing to address the board must what?
Bill
What is your,
request.
what does it say here?
Yes, you're making the copy.
Why don't we
You
go
are
run
the
it?
trustee sitting at that table.
Well, you do it down here
I
anyway.
requested from you
President, I'd like to ask you to call order to this meeting.
Well, why don't you just make your request and it'll start?
Requesting that That's exactly it.
Okay, anybody else?
What are we gonna do about it though?
Our board,
It's
I
been,
make a motion, please.
I can't even get a word in. What's
Is
the
anybody
use?
gonna answer my question?
Keep talking, Jeff, take yourself, keep going.
Nobody did not answer. Nobody answered me anything that I asked you.
I have seen the pictures. The pictures I saw were not time stamped. I don't know when they were taken. Your second question,
We can tell you when they were taken, they're in the minutes when they were taken, Jeff.
Okay, what I ask you is, you're sending this paperwork in to prosecute us. Is it from pictures that were taken 4 months ago? Or is it what it looks like now, or what?
my understanding is where it stands right now from what I'm hearing from the zoning inspector, because I have not talked to Amy, and I haven't heard anything else from the board on that topic, is that they're trying to put together a timeline now, and the zoning inspector has to put her timeline together to give to Amy so she can proceed forward with whatever it is the majority of the board wanted her to proceed with.
That it looks worse in the second pictures, you're saying?
She's supposed to put a timeline together, so I suppose that means she's supposed to say, these are the pictures from this time, and this is what they look like now.
Didn't I just
Here-
explain to you that there was
I
only
under-
6 pictures
I
in the first one?
understand what you're saying. I'm
and
just
they-
telling
all
you
the
all I
tree
know.
leaves were on
That's
the
all I can
trees,
answer to
and
it.
they were only generalized in a smaller fourth of the area. And a lot of the stuff was there in the first pictures or gone. But none of you guys, nobody comes out to look at anything.
I have seen the pictures that were provided, that's all I
I
can
did
tell you.
hire a gentleman, a contractor, to haul away all of my salvageable, aluminum recyclable material.
Are you still the contact on that, Dan? Because up to this point, it's been you, because I think it's important that you relay the information to Amy that apparently there have been updates since the most recent pictures. I think it's only fair
It
to...
was like 4 months ago.
Yes, I have all
Are
the
you still the
receipts.
contact doing that?
I have all the receipts where I sold the material.
And it was whether you could work in and not January.
I'll tell you what, I'm
February.
not, Vice President's not being responsive. I'll call Amy myself. I'll get whatever questions I can get answered
just
that are
left
not
them in limbo
confidential,
all the
client privileged, and I'll find out what I can on that.
Thank you,
But I can't share any more than information than I have.
thank you.
but you can share the videos that you have.
Yeah.
Since you claim to
Mr.
be
President,
so, since you
Who
claim to
has
be
the
so.
floor?
Well, since you interrupted when I had the floor, I waited till they finished, even though they interrupted me, and I had the floor, I had not yielded the floor. You claim to have transparency in government, yet you're not willing to fill a records request. I have you on tape, you said, I'm a trustee and I'm videoing the meeting. I have that on tape where you told the officer that when you called in, Jeff. So you were videoing as a trustee. You are the only person that has those records. I requested a copy of them. Officially, in writing, you have the copy. End of story, you either fill it or you don't. I want an answer.
I already answered your question.
Are you filling it or are you refusing to fill it?
You better take that one to Amy, Jeff.
Are you
I would
filling it
suggest-
or are you refusing to fill it?
I would suggest if the board or our fiscal officer has legal
Fill it
questions on this
or
matter,
refuse.
that they
Fill it
contact their
or
legal
refuse.
counsel. That's what our legal counsel is for.
Are you going to check with your legal counsel and give me an answer next month?
That would be the board that needs to do that, Mrs. Bullen.
It's you
You
that
got
needs
just
to
as
do
much
it.
authority as everybody
The
else.
request
yeah.
is to core penny.
The assistant prosecutor in the prosecutor's office represents this board. They do not represent individual trustees on any matters.
Okay,
Are you a member of the board?
right, so what are you saying then?
I've already said, because if you want to move a motion to get legal opinion on it, that would be my suggestion.
I would move a motion.
I'll make a motion that
It's
you
his
fill Mrs.
request.
Bowen's record request.
That's right.
And I'll second it.
Fill it.
If Jenny doesn't have those, I'll make a motion, since you have those and they were videotaped for historical purposes, which you have stated, say you
People
have
keep
it.
putting words in
Say
my
you have
mouth.
it, that you should fill Mrs. Bowen's record request.
Question either.
You are the only one sitting at this table that has that ability.
Anybody that has internet access has that ability.
Open
What
government.
if somebody doesn't? Yeah, let's let the sunshine in, okay?
There you go.
It's kind of dark.
Fill it. Open government.
internet access. I do not either.
We had a motion made and seconded. I'd like to do a roll call. Dan?
Yeah.
Would you please read the motion for the,
Ben made a motion for trustee Corpenny to fill Patty Bowen's records request of the taped videos of the meetings. It was seconded by Dan. Roll call. Dan?
Yep.
Jeff?
abstain?
Ben?
Yes.
Can somebody answer my second question this time? Are
Oh,
you,
let me concede
are you in
before.
violation
Right, she's still
only
got
if
four.
somebody complains about you, or are you in violation? If you're in violation, why doesn't anybody do anything about the ones that no one complains about?
How are we supposed to do something if we don't know about it?
Well, you got eyes, and so does she. I've told her several times. She said there is no paper to fill out, and I've told her about a place that looks like a
You
junkyard.
might want to recheck that statement.
Yes, you told me there
You
wasn't
have
one for
never
me.
called me and told me of any violation.
I told you here.
Recheck.
I told her here. It's on tape.
Wait a minute,
No.
we went through this for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, we're going right back to the same
Well,
thing.
if no one answers the question, you have to ask it a second
Shut it
time.
up.
Let's move on.
Are you only in violation if somebody next
I
door
make
to
a
you
motion to
complains?
pay bills.
They won't even answer the question. You won't answer the question, will you?
You just do it out of your mouth.
Don't answer the question, that's okay.
Mr. President, since
We
the
know what the
motion is
answer
made,
is.
pay bills is seconded, I have a request for you, Mr. President, try to maintain order in this room while we
We know
pay
what the
checks.
answer is. It's a buddy system.
Can't control these people to sign the check for adjournment.
There's a lot of violators sitting in here.
First check that's come around to me is 4387, Jack Richard Hedges, I'll need these time sheets, please. 4389, Barbara Salee, same thing. Daniel Nelson Van Buren, 4390,
Let's go, I'm going.
$149.
Let me go, I'm gonna come.
You better sign that check.
Have a good night, guys.
Hopewell Township Trustees, this is for the fire contract.
I never got an answer to anything I asked.
$16,626.
They don't know the answer. Did you see the
Check 4383, Ohio Public Entity Consortium, $260.40. Dental Life,
I was here. She stood up here, and might even have a camera in her back butt, right in that corner.
Check
And they shut him in
4384,
there.
Ace Truck Equipment.
Somebody else helped them shut him in there. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. And they lied.
Enfield Road Company, 4382, $339.90.
Just let everybody in here is.
Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, have a good evening.
See you guys, thank you.
Yes, I had to pay. They said it was in two properties. It was two.
4386, Jenny Ball, $892.28.
Because they were doing it at the same time.
Lincoln Township Trustees, 4397, $68,626. Fire contract payment. 4385, Jeffrey D. Corpenning, this only shows one signature from one trustee, James Ball, 2321. The signature is that.
All you need to do is add their signature, and then you can catch it.
I guess that's that signature. It comes back, I'll ask for five. 4392, Small's Asphalt Paving, $490.
He gets his minutes back. That's it.
What happened to the other check?
Here's what she did. She expects him to take his board around her on the wrong side of the road and up the hill.
4396, Pleasant Valley Limestone, $5.49.
So one night she takes me.
Yeah, because
And I was looking down, so I was looking down the hill.
Quantity is 25 tons, being placed in $12, total price of
Everybody that she was looking at in various different most of the roads belong to Source, we're like in the way. Somebody, he calls every time we hear a crash, he sends the fire department down the thing. Calls the fire department. No, the trucks, we got
Hey Jenny, can I see that the bars right here? Names.
Trying to find out where alley this is.
I don't have a check here for Jack, so I'll stay sign
You never found out the answers.
It's another $22.51.
Every time they say
Keep him up on it. He ain't gonna fix nothing without having.
Fire tomorrow.
Never done your town. I respect a lot of people.
Jenny, I asked last time that.
I'm listening.
Water used to turn mine in trash. And there's a bunch of big mouths, bunch of big mouths.
I am listening.
First three meetings I came to, he told me outside. I know, it keeps me upset. I've got an attorney waiting now to actually give, he wanted to leave as a citizen. The violation that they gave us does not make sense.
The bad thing is they're spending
anything, parks, they got so, they he was in January of 10. Last couple meetings.
So you want me to go to my house and make a copy and bring it back down?
Well, he told me that 2 meetings ago, don't worry about that. We'll find out whether we're in violation. So we just said to me in limbo. A year at a time, you don't know.
Hey, you come down here on Sunday.
That's what he did. But it was all, it wasn't none of it was true. They came out and said, there's nothing new. We still got $5,000. We paid it. And Deborah Kenny was investigating and she did not report it. And some years later, we had a lien on our property because that wasn't paid. And I called up and I said, hey, I got the receipt that this was paid within 2 days. And she goes, oh, so she goes down and she makes out a receipt and sent it to us like we just paid it today. And they wouldn't take it off. They wouldn't take the name off the property. Nobody in here would do it. Nobody in here would like to sign it. Nobody in here would, Richard White was here at the conference. I said, this was not paid 5 years later. This was paid the same emails. I said, she made a mistake. She did not record it. I got a receipt showing it. She sent us the receipt saying it was just paid today. I got it. I showed them that. They still wouldn't change it. And that goes into credit for 6 or 7 years. So we had a higher interest rate. We think we did because we had this lien against her. They're not. They're not. And the reason they all, I told them the truth. The reason that there was nobody else to live here, and I said, we should have